Hi, this is Ed, and I'm in San Diego, California, and welcome into the global meeting room. I call it the psychologically safe place for business introductions and business conversations. The whole concept is, even though it's pre-agreed topics many times, frequently one new topic leads to another new topic. And that's where the depth and intelligence, the intelligence of what we're doing on Global TV Talk Show bears fruit for all the participants, including the viewers out there who will watch this subsequently to today's recording session, live broadcast recording session. So in just a few minutes, we're going to be joined by Jana Chez, and this is about her. It's just bright, super bright, very energetic, and really trustworthy, proven trustworthy business person. She's based in Brazil, in Rio, I believe. We're going to get into all that in a few minutes. So I want to read this and give you an idea. She is a global mobility strategist with over 15 years of experience navigating cross-border workforce structures across the Americas and Europe. Her journey includes self-relocation, corporate leadership, and service provider environments, giving Jana a practical and deeply human understanding of what international mobility truly demands from organizations, and more so, what the demands, the actual demands, are from the people they move. We're going to do a deep dive on that. It's about the people. That's where the ROI is for the company, for sure, for the transferee and family, if there is one. I'm going to be talking about coaching. That's my pet topic, providing coaching services to the transferee, more so to the accompanying spouse, partner, and kids. We'll get back to that. So Jana writes in LinkedIn, over the years, I have designed, led, and supported complex expatriation programs, end to end, from planning and immigration strategy to assignment management and repatriation, always balancing regulatory precision with individual experience. I'm going to get into repatriation. Who benefits? Going to be an interesting topic. We're not here to point fingers. We're here to make this a human experience conversation. We learn from each other. The industry, the global talent, mobility management industry has wonderful people. The more you get to know the players, the service providers, and the corporate managers, the more your life expands. Wonderful people. Everybody's learning the same thing. And so there's always a conversation that's meaningful, whether it's online or in person. Back to Jana. Jana Chesanowski. She focuses on delivering strategic advisory in global mobility, building cross-border partnerships, and that's what our global meeting room is all about, and connecting organizations to trusted compliance ecosystems worldwide. 100% compliant, 100%. compliance. Absolutely. Her work sits at the intersection, this is her words. Her work sits at the intersection of mobility, regulatory alignment, and governance-minded growth. She believes global mobility is more than logistics. It's about safeguarding people, strengthening institutions, and creating structured frameworks that allow international expansion to happen responsibly and sustainability. We're going to do a deep dive on that. The whole system behind Jana's new company, new organization, RISO Global, is about people and the humanity and the common sense approach. We're going to go into that during the upcoming show. Her areas of focus, once again, include global mobility strategy, cross-border compliance and regulatory alignment, strategic partnerships within the international advisory networks that are already organized. It's a matter of being real, being human, being open to learning, sharing ideas. She's going to be talking about workforce risk mitigation in multi-jurisdictional environments. Equally, she's going to be talking about human-centered mobility governance. What does all that mean? She says she's particularly passionate about connecting global professionals, building trusted ecosystems, and supporting organizations as they expand with clarity, structure, and integrity. Not just talk, getting stuff done to help people, help the transferee and company and spouse and family. Equally, helping other service providers, helping the corporate to look good. Jana strives to connect diverse voices and drive meaningful change within organizations. This is really going to be a great show. Jana Chez is in Brazil. I'm in California. Just amazing. We could do this at practically no cost. We'll be right back with Jana Chez and RISO Global. Get ready to learn. Thank you. Hi, it's Ed, and I'm in San Diego, California. The time here is 8:04 a.m. It's May 20, and our very special guest today, Jana Chez is, I hope I pronounced that right.
Yes, you did.
Oh, cool.
That
Is in Rio. I love Rio. Long time ago in '09 and '10 and 12 and I think 14, I produced meetings in Brazil and Sao Paulo and Rio, and just wonderful. And our very first LATAM meeting was in Panama in '06. And in the audience was the regional head of PwC at the time. And uh, he liked how I conducted the meeting and got people involved and the whole nature of it. And he invited me to come into Sao Paulo and Rio, and they would pay for the meeting. And because they wanted to use it for attracting corporates and customer satisfaction. And so that's how it all began for me in Latin America. And
that's
then
awesome.
Ernst and
Tell me
Young
about it.
uh, asked me to do a series in Palenque in Mexico City, the beautiful area where they have their headquarters. And so we did several meetings with them. And so I have not put on any other meetings um, in a long time in person. So I'm doing global meeting room here, Zoom, doesn't cost much. So,
Uh-huh.
and we can help people doing this. And that's the purpose of the show is to talk to the industry for sure, but also people who haven't met you yet, or recently you've had other exposures across the industry for sure. Glomo, you're great on that service, that program. Ben and I are friends. We're friendly competitors, but we're friends first. Uh, so, and I know you know that right away back then. So this program is just about you and your new association with RISO Global. Tell us about RISO and how would you pronounce that? RISO or RISO?
Oh, I love the question. First of all, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here again. It's really awesome because I remember the first time that we connect and we recorded, and that it's like, I don't know, probably 8 years ago. Yeah, it's like a long time was when I was at UN representing
Yes, right.
Brazil.
It
A
was
long time ago.
pre-COVID.
I was a corporate. Oh my God, it was a totally different world. And yeah, and it's really special. I really appreciate you giving creating a space like this. And it's really special. It's really valuable. So there's so much value, and I really wanted to thank you for making this and stay and do not give up on creating environments like
Yeah,
this.
thank you very much. So before we get
So,
in, I just want to get some feedback from you about my logo and
uh-huh.
the world spinning and this thing going around. Is that bothering you? Because if it is, I can move
Not at all.
and block it.
Oh, I love the globe behind.
Oh,
It's just
okay.
awesome.
And
And
I
yeah,
see
no, I
you
like
have the
that.
world in front of you right there.
Yes.
So so LATAM is very strong. Argentina's come back from the wilderness and strong economy and a lot going on. Are you getting involved in Argentina?
Well, yes, I have a partner, a really strong partner in Argentina. It's funny, like with ups and downs, Argentina is always being when talking about Latam, it's impossible to not mention Argentina. Uh, if they're up, if things are good, if things are not so good, it always impacts the region. There is a big flow of professionals there, companies, specifics on specific industries. So it's impossible to be in Latam and try to do support that involves the region without considering Argentina. We need to adapt. But I really
I
want
have never been there. I would love to go to Buenos Aires and Patagonia area, but
you need
someday,
to. It's a big.
yeah.
I don't know as I wish. I know Buenos Aires, and I had like an amazing experience. It's been a long time, by the way, and the city is awesome. For me, it's awesome because it involves all the things that for me I look forward when I go to a different place. There's a lot of history that it's great food,
Right.
and
And good
people.
wine. Yeah.
Yes, and people are really, really friendly. And yes, the wine it's
Yeah.
really
So
incredible.
I have a friend here in San Diego who's a travel agent, and
Mhm.
he has an office in Uruguay, Montevideo.
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't know anything about that area, but um, he's shown me videos and talked to me about that. He says that's really it's like a secret, almost a secret, because it's of the lower cost of living and the wonderful weather and the ease of doing business.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there because there's a port in Uruguay. So, if there's a port, that it's like products arrive, people arrive. So there's a lot of business opportunities there. And yes, you are right. It feels like a little bit of it's still a secret, but yeah, that's a lot of opportunities in Uruguay, and people don't talk about the country enough, I would say, for sure. You have a point. And actually, like the same partner, it's the same group that when we talk about partnerships, like in Uruguay, Argentina, it's the same thing that we engage with. So yeah, Uruguay, Argentina, Chile, and yeah, to deliver support because when we talk again, when talking about Latam, we cannot forget to consider like all the way because it's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, uh, have you been involved, and I know it could be difficult, but in Venezuela, and the prospects are pretty exciting now. It seems like peace and a better lifestyle for the people uh, is coming fast.
I don't have experience working with Venezuela. Like it's pretty recent, all the changes that open again the market and opportunities. It's quite recent, a lot of adjustments. Um, but yeah, of course, for sure, a place for a lot of opportunities. A place is smart to consider at this stage to create connections there because at the right moment people will because after everything that happened there's a process of trusting for people to feel comfortable like it is the right moment, are things in place, where is what. But I think it's a really strategic moment to create connections in the region with specialists in the area to guarantee that they can dive into the specifics, the bureaucracy, and of course the new things that now for sure are being implemented to guarantee the business structure is set for global connections. Yes.
Yeah. So I want to find out more about RISO, RISO. So
So
stuff that I've been reading about it, particularly from your associates in other places, it talks about the human uh, side of how relocation impacts a body, a mind, and
I
not
love
just
it
the
that
transferee, but the family, the family. So, and if the family's not happy, the transferee is going to have trouble, and the company's going to wind up getting. I'm going to watch my language and say disturbed,
yeah,
and it's not good for anybody, and never mind expensive. So the cultural and taking care of people seems to be your number one.
I love it that that's the word that you connect with, and that's literally the the mission that we have to really have when people think about Hazel. So to the question that you brought earlier. So I would say Hazel because it's the word in Portuguese, my first language. But the beauty when I choose Hazel Global, it's because it applies on different languages, in Spanish, Italian, it and into the same meaning that goes by Smile. Um, and the reason why I choose is because for one, it's like easy to get it that it's one of the characteristics that people will always mention about me because I have a big smile. And for a long time during my journey, early years, it was something that I was uncomfortable about it, would always make me feel uncomfortable that people will talk about me saying that I was the girl with the big smile, not because I didn't like my smile, but because I wanted people to remember me because of the things that I know, because the way that I work. So it's kind of like disturbing, like as for women, like we don't like the first thing to talk about our aesthetics, right? But with time, with maturity and all those things, I realize that uh, it's not a bad thing. So I kind of like reframe my perception, and I understood that yes, my smile, it really connects with the way that I believe it's important to deliver the service that I deliver with human connection. It's my smile, it's my window to my to to show like connection, to show who I am. So I'm like, okay, it's not something for me to be uncomfortable with. It's something for me to assume as one of the things that really transfer the message of the service the way that I want to deliver service. And that's how Riso began, because being in the industry for like 20 years as a corporate service provider in different services, it gave me the opportunity, the privilege to sit in different parts at the table and understand the demands, the expectations, where it's more focused or not. And I realized that what really made me excited was when I was really solving problems, supporting families there that they had like really specific needs, like something that like one size fits all would not incorporate it. So I was like, I want to be that person. I want to, when people think about Riso, it's because they will, as you mentioned, they will understand that it's because there's a big human centered approach, that we do want to deliver a concierge, really tailored solution, like that will not say that it's like this is the way that we deliver fit into us. It's more about like, tell me about your scenario and we will map and figure out everything that you need to guarantee that you have the support. On the part that you need professional support, we will be here. So because we understand we cannot take away everything that comes with relocating. Doesn't matter if it's inside of the country, internationally. There are things that are personal, and it's a lot, especially when you have like family. But there are things that professional support can really make it easier to know what to expect, understand when to make movements, the right choices. So we want to guarantee that we are holding hands and from the beginning until the end. And if it's just because a specific service that maybe the company it's not offering, so individuals can as well come to us and say like, hey, my partner or my kid needs a specific support that is not part of my package. We are here to support. My goal on a long term, it's for companies and individuals that when they have like a demand that delivers mapping and structure tailor, they will think about Riso knowing like, oh, okay, they will take the time to understand our needs, and we can trust that they will have partners to support us during this journey.
So let's talk about coaching,
Yes.
um, taking care of people, which is sort of what you were just saying. And what my pet thing is when I talk with mobility managers and experts like yourself in different cities, different countries. Um, I say the companies have to supply a coach, professional coach, not only to the transferee, when they arrive in a new location, but a coach, maybe not the same person, a different kind of coach for the spouse, partner, and if there's a family, helping the spouse and partner deal with life,
Yes.
a new life, when, well, previously they just went about life. They went to the store, they went to the bakery, they went to the school, they went to the park. Uh, they had friends, and now they have nothing, and they know nothing. And now that means there's guilt on the assignee, on the employee, and that creates friction at the worst possible time. So it's not a soft cost. It's a hard dollar investment in reality. Now, there was a Japanese company, I'm not going to name names, and I did an interview sort of like this, not the same comfort zone as we're having right now, because it's, that culturally it can't be done. It's much more structured, much more formal. Uh, but the guy, the executive within the Japanese-owned company in the U.S. says, we don't allow the transferee and family to go out on an assignment without 100% vetting cultural behavior, financial stability, emotional stability, and ability to work as a unit, not be tug of war, because it definitely, he says, will impact productivity. And I, as the responsible corporate guy, know that's going to happen. And so don't falsify anything. I know you're going to have problems, and we want to make sure you can deal with it. Because if it doesn't work, it's over.
Yes, I couldn't agree more with you. Yeah, I love everything that you said, and I love that you
Thank you.
mentioned falsifying because it's pretty easy for people to assume that things that are part of their routine are obvious for things for people that are out of that bubble or that community. And HRs or people that are in multinationals, they might think like, oh, those things are obvious. And there is no such a thing as obvious when you're experiencing such a relevant a change in life. So they don't know what they don't know. And to your point, it's not to lie and say like, oh, come with me because I will solve and I will avoid you to face the challenge that comes with relocation. But it's really important. I always refer that to like a diagnosed, like it's one thing if I start to not feel well. And then I go to the doctor, I go to a specialist, and they tell me that I have a lung scenario. And then they will direct me to the specialist who will give me the treatment, the medication, and will give me like a window saying, like, okay, doing this, and that, you will pass through this process, and in X amount of time, you will be okay to have your regular routine. I know that I have this scenario, but I trust the professionals and I will do what it needs to be done. And I know in X amount of time, I will be okay. Totally different scenario than having a pain. I don't know if you experience, I already had the scenario of having a pain and having doctors trying to figure out what you have without knowing. It's awful not knowing the not knowing, like how long, what it is, what should be done. Are we losing time? Should I have done this? I'm missing something. It's awful. Your brain just goes like in crazy ways, and you lose track of what is important. And it's the same thing with relocation. It's like if you have a professional that can give you like a map of what can happen and might happen during the process, it's not that I'm taking away that those things might happen, but I can give you like a window. I can explain that those things, that it's normal, that this is a scenario that you have to consider, that will be part of your journey. And then you can plan ahead and understand and see that it's not just with you, it's part of the journey. I really relate with my personal experience when after living in US for 6 years, I moved back to Brazil, and I faced the whole struggling with repatriation. At that time, me and my family, we did have the literacy of knowing about reverse cultural shock. Wasn't something that we understand. It was like awful, was really painful for everybody, not just with me. Like my family, my friends, they suffer with me because like we didn't know what we are facing. Like, oh, am I like an awful person? What is going on? Like I'm home. Why it feels like this? And I remember the first time when I read about reverse cultural shock, I sent that to my mom, and she was like, immediately, she's like, oh my God, we need that back in the days. And I was like, yes, it's not that I wouldn't pass through all that, but knowing that was like part of the process, we would figure out different ways to deal with the whole scenario. So all those things, it's exactly what it's necessary. Understanding that with the assignee, with the family, doesn't matter the age of this family member, doesn't matter how was the prior life, if they're working, if they're not, if they feel that they have it all planned, they don't know what to expect. Their minds are not even going to things. Probably like mobility professionals will really relate. It's pretty common to talk with spouses and then you ask about something and they will just be like, "Oh, I have that. I have that option. I didn't even know that was at the table." They they don't know what they don't know. So that's why it's
Hmm.
so important to have a professional to map, to highlight and say, like, oh, those things are part of the process.
Yeah.
And by having a profession supporting you, for sure the journey will be easier, lighter. You will build uh, strategics to pass through that scenario to guarantee that you're taking care of yourself, you're supporting your spouse and whatever is the role that you are having, temporary or not. And so, yeah, really important. I I always refer this because it's really, people will always say like, oh, that type of service, it's a good to have, and then suppliers who deliver their service are always really frustrated because normally it's the service that it's the first one cut when they need budget restructure, right? And I always connect that with the fact that all the other services that are considered primarily important, like visa, taxation, uh, moving, things can happen, but there's and there's always an option to like making an adjustment, add add an extra fee, add it in a second moment of the process. There's always a way to adjust, include documents, make a comment, pay a different fee. It's adjustable. When we are talking about humans and their personal experience, there's no fee adjustment that can fix a divorce, a depression, a break. down, like those are like really precious things that it's not just a fee that we would adjust. So no, like taking care of the human, it's really part of the primarily service that need to be considered when we are transferring professionals around the globe.
As we approach the close here, we could go on for hours, I think, but
Yeah.
I don't know if the audience will like it. But so I want to zero in on two things here as we come to a close. And if you don't want to spend the time now on it, just tell me, no problem. Number one, lump sum, bad idea, right?
Yeah,
On international, bad idea.
yeah, because you are putting on the client the responsibility to choose on what we are just saying, something that they don't know.
No, nothing
It's
about it.
like, okay, I don't know what I need to evaluate. I don't know what are the key details on the services. I will look for what looks more shiny, what will give me extra money for other things that I want, or I want to just sound not expensive for the company. I don't know what to map. It's not my specialty. So I can't say that I'm in favor of lump sums.
Yeah. Okay. The other thing is technology. Um, I think you know of companies, and I know of one in particular very well, that the relocation service and the counseling is all done on the phone.
we
Apps.
can we cannot 2026 we cannot say that it's possible to live a life without artificial intelligence technology. It's here, it's a fact, and it's here to support us, and I think it's about balancing what are the things that technology can help us when it's like uh mapping things that are just like files, data, moving like making it easier, things that are like just adding to the to-do list. So we have more time to have the personal connection and spending time on things that there will never be any machine that will be able to deliver. So yes, we are a human-centered, we are a people to people business. It's unquestionable. So let's use technology in our favor. So we will stop being professionals that are always so busy because, like, I need to deliver this report. I need to count this number. I need to those things. Those things, technology is here for those things. So then you have time for people interaction. So I think it's like let's play smart and use as a support so we can have more time for the things that no way any machine will be able to deliver.
So as we come to a close on this edition, and I welcome you to come back and we can go deeper. Uh,
Thank you.
what do you think about the coming season? Um, so the season of transfers and of recruitment, uh, is it strong in Brazil?
What do you mean? Like what
Yeah, is
recruitment?
business strong? Or are companies normalizing? They hiring? Are they active?
Well, I
Not
think global.
everybody, I know, but
Yeah, I think globally, everybody's being really cautious, conservative when talking about expanding uh, in our industry, like relocating. It now always comes with the question like, it's safe. Uh, can I bring my family and can we return at it in any time? I think that question was never so on the top of it. Um, but there, for example, here in Rio, uh, the oil and the energy sector, it's back, it's happening. Energy, technology, we have like a big hub. So airports are expanding, like direct flights for here from different continents and all that. So with everything happening in US, making it a big question mark, I think that opens a space for South America to play a really strategic, open space for opportunities. And when I talk South America, like
Yeah.
Central America, Mexico, Colombia, I think there's like big opportunities and things are happening. I'm seeing like people starting new jobs, open roles. So the movement is happening. It's more about understanding which industries. Yeah, so it's happening, but not. It's more about like where it's happening, but
Yeah.
sure it is.
And finally, is there relocations across the region, like from Mexico to Brazil?
Yes, yes, yes. People and actually like I think the two-way movement, Mexicans here and Brazilians there. So yeah, relocation inside Latin America, it's happening. The agreements, Mercosur, it's still making good impact and making the possibilities a easy reality. And yeah, so it's happening.
Yeah. Jana, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I welcome you to come back again, perhaps bring a client or bring a partner and be more involved. I'd like to generate a series. Uh, I don't want to compete with Brazil talks, LATAM talks. I totally support that and have had people on to talk about those programs. But I just want to do my thing and
Absolutely.
and just broaden the conversation. That's my
Absolutely.
purpose of doing this.
Once again, I truly appreciate the trust, the opportunity, the space. I do not really believe in competition. I think it's like losing time. I think there's always opportunity to collaborate. There is no such a thing of one channel that does exactly the same. There's like a different community, different channels. So I think there's a lot of power in community and collaboration. It's one of our values here at RISO. So yeah, count on me. It will be a pleasure to be back here. And yeah, let's continue to make impact and supporting the industry. I really appreciate you, Ed.
Thank you, Janet, and good luck with RISO Global.
Thank
I
you. Thank you
welcome
so
you
much.
to come back and do one of these, as well as join a small group discussion as we talk about global business, global talent development. That's what this program is all about. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I'm really honored. And you
I'm
look
the one.
wonderful. Thank you.
Thank
All right,
you.
this is Ed signing off. We welcome your feedback. Here is scratch my head. Here is my email. We want your feedback. And it is editor, Global Business News, all one word, at gmail.com. And it gets right to me. And thank you, Janet, again.
Thank you.
Okay, ciao.